Hey everyone! In this video today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a zigzag friendship bracelet. But for this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a zigzag bracelet that has these sort of borders separating each color. I'm not exactly sure what you would call it, but it gives this pattern a really fun look instead of doing different individual colors. So if you want to learn how to make this bracelet, then go ahead and keep on watching. So for this bracelet, you are going to need 10 strings in total. And 5 of those strings are going to be the color that you want to separate each of your other colors. So for this bracelet, that color is black. And for this one, I will be using this really dark chocolatey brown color. And then the rest of your 5 strings are going to be each individual color. And for measuring, I do about 35 to 40 inches, somewhere in between there. And it works out pretty well for a 5.5 inch bracelet for the most part. And this layout is a little bit interesting because of how we are starting the segment knotting. So your color order may be different depending on whether or not you want to do a sort of rainbowy order. But no matter what you want to do, you want to order your strings from left to right. Border color, I guess. 5, 1, border, border. 4, 2, border, border, 3. The start of this bracelet is always a little bit confusing, but once you get the segment knotting down, it's pretty smooth from there. So I will be starting off at the second row of this pattern and then moving from there. So first what you want to do is take your third string from the right, which will be one of your border colors, and you want to do 2 forward knots on these next 2 strings to the right of it to bring it to the right side. So there's our 4 shape. And then next we are going to go over to our 5th string from the right. And what we're going to do is 3 forward knots on the next 3 strings to the right of it. And then on this last one, we are going to do a forward backward knot onto it. And you don't want to make your knots too tight when it comes to forward backward and backward forward knots, because your bracelet can turn out a little bit wonky on the edges, so just keep that in mind. You don't want to have too tight of tension with this bracelet. And you'll see it's kind of curving out a little bit, but when we get to the end steps, we can kind of straighten that out a little bit. And now we are going to move over to our sort of second pair of strings here. And this one will have our first color with it. But what you are going to do is take the border string in this group, the 4th string from the left, and we are going to do 3 forward knots on these next 3 strings to the right of it, and then on the 4th one we will do a forward backward knot. So pretty much repeating what we just did before. And then we want to go to our 2nd string from the left, which will be your 6th color if you are following a specific order. And we are going to repeat that process again. We want to take this string and do forward knots on the next 3 strings to the right of it. And then on the 4th one, we will do a forward backward knot. are going to pick up our border color on the outermost left side. And this time we are only going to do forward knots on the next 2 strings to the right of it, and then on this third one we will do a forward backward knot. And then we are going to the outermost left strand again. And we are just going to do a forward backward knot onto the string next to it. So this is my first color, and then I am doing a forward backward knot onto my border color. And again, be sure not to tie this too tight because it can get a little bit wonky. So each string that we did the forward backward knot with previously is going to be the string that we use for this next step. So what I'm going to do first is take the string from my very first border, which will be my 3rd string from the left. And what I'm going to do is a backward knot onto the string to the left of it, and then on this very outer left strand I am going to do a backward forward knot. And then I will locate the next sort of zigzag in line, which will be my 4th strand from the left. And I'm going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it, and then on this next one I will do a backward forward knot. And then we have the next border string, which will be the 4th string from the right. And again, I'm going to do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then on this next one to the left, I will do a backward forward knot. And then we have our next color, which is our 4th color, and that will be our 2nd string from the right. And again, repeat that step of doing the backward knot onto the string to the left of it, and then do a backward forward knot on this next string after. And this is where I have the chance to sort of manipulate this flaring that goes on up here. You can pull a little bit tighter on your first tie to sort of get that in place, and then when you finish your knot, you can kind of lock it in and sort of correct that edge a little bit. And then for our very last step, we are going to take our outermost right strand and just do a backward forward knot onto the string to the left of it. And that is the whole segment knotting complete. It doesn't look like much is happening, but as you move along, your zigzags will get longer and longer, and you will see each and every color. So for example, on this one, you can see I started out with pink, orange, and yellow, and this pattern doesn't repeat until all the way down here. So you can see there is a good chunk of this whole set before it repeats again. If you do need to watch the video one more time, you can play it from the beginning and follow the same exact steps, but the pattern itself is a bit confusing to look at because it doesn't show the full set. But even though the colors are constantly changing, the segment knotting will always be the same. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.